Bucks win it again. 2 in a row for your Milwaukee Bucks as they look to try to turn the tide, turn things around. 126-113 over the Philadelphia 76ers. That's a 13-point victory. I don't remember. Do you remember what the spread was, Justin?
I didn't
I
see
can't
it
remember the
today.
spread. I feel like it was maybe 11 and a half. I don't know. So maybe the Bucks cover. Start off slow. I mean, this is very interesting, right? For a game where the Bucks win it by 13. Lot of complaining. You start down 17. So I mean, you basically spotted the 76ers 17 points to get this one started tonight. But you end up winning by 13. All's well that ends well. So we will take it over here. Come on in the room. Uh-oh. Darvin is our doctor. He writes out all of our scripts. He gives us our medicine in our room. We are live. Cream City crossover. Guru Trick Dirt.
Justin.
Just us two in the building tonight. No Chris King, no JT tonight, but we will hold it down as always in a 126-113 victory over the Philadelphia 76ers. You saw your boy Nick Nurse get tossed tonight. I thought that was pretty comical. We'll talk to you in the chat as always. Get at us in the chat. We'll talk to you on the Twitter at TCIIESQ. Just having some fun in a 13-point victory as the season progresses. Oh, by the way, your Milwaukee Bucks back in the 5 seed. All of these games are important down the stretch here. Oh, by the way, the Bucks play, I think they have Miami next. They have Miami next, and then maybe the Pelicans after that. And then you have the Minnesota Timberwolves. Oh, by the way, Anthony Edwards rolled his ankle tonight on Josie Fernando, the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. And it was not a good-looking roll. It's one of those rolls where you could maybe be out a couple of weeks. And that's why I continue to tell people when everybody screams, oh, the season's cooked, it's over, give it up, it's a wrap. Didn't we just go over this the other night? You are a rolled ankle away from, oh my God, here we go. You are a wrong landing away from, and again, not that I'm wishing for it or anything like, but I'm just saying that's the reality of it. Because we've seen it on our end. Giannis, I think it was Kevin Love taking a fake charge. Giannis rolls up on, boom, now he's out. Chris Middleton lands wrong on somebody. Boom, now he's out. Like that's Giannis last year, calf, Dame, blood clot. Like you are that close away from a superstar, star player, important role player from that changing the tenor of a series. Oh, we can't beat the Knicks. Oh, what if Carlton Towns? Again, I'm just saying this is the reality. This is the NBA. Injuries happen. I'm so sick. We're gonna talk about that old bum Jeff Teague who's crying about, how many times you gonna tell the story? How many times you gonna tell the story that you thought the Bucks were gonna lose against the Nets in the second round? How many times you gonna tell that story, man? I don't understand it. But anyway,
give his ring back?
Right, yeah. If you ain't think he's gonna give him the ring back, but my point there is, yeah, it's every year something happens. Injuries play a part every year. I don't know why, for whatever reason, 2021 Bucks is the hospital ring. Every year, injuries take place. But anyway, go ahead.
What? I'm sorry, and this is a monologue.
No, go ahead.
What was Boston last year? You had Halliburton, you had Brunson, you had Giannis, you had Dame, you had Embiid. That's every year, though. I mean, everybody in the entire East was hurt. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm with you. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, that is the story of every player. The Toronto Raptors, the year they won it, Kevin Durant goes out in and was that first game he came back? Like, that's how this goes. So, but I get back to we'll get to all that in a little bit. A 126-113 victory over the Philadelphia 76ers. Took some work, but the Bucks do get it done. Let's do a game recap tonight. Giannis, incredible. Should I say Joker-ish stats? Joker-ish stat line, Joker-esque stat line. 35, 17, and 20 assists from Giannis. Career high in assists from GA. 2 steals tonight. 12 of 19 from the field. Hit his only 3-point shot. I went through it the other night. End of the year. This will make Todd Merrill very happy. End of the year. Giannis. Somebody tell me Giannis is, I don't know, last 10 games. Somebody in the chat, let's figure out what his free throw percentage is last 10 games. 10 of 11 from the line tonight for Giannis. He's starting to figure that thing out. A plus 23 on the night. 2 turnovers with the 20 assists. So excellent job from Giannis. Brook Lopez, 17 points, 3 boards, 1 assist, 7 of 11 from the field. He was 2 of 3 from deep tonight. Torian Prince, 13 points. Ryan Rollins, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist from him. You had 7 guys in double figures tonight. So again, and this is kind of what I expected. With no Chris, and again, Chris wasn't in the lineup a ton throughout the regular season for like guaranteed minutes or starter level minutes, but it's just interesting that you see with Chris Middleton not being there, people say, oh, like Kuzma's never going to be the third guy. Like you're going to have to do this by committee. And you're starting to see more times where you have 7 guys again tonight, double figures. Kuzma, 16 points, 4 boards, 3 assists. He had 3 blocks tonight, 6 of 10 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. He did have 3 turnovers. I thought Kuzma was really good tonight as well, especially on the defensive end. And in that second half, he really picked it up offensively. So a good job from him. Gary Trent Jr., 13 points. He was 3 of 8, 3 of 6 from 3. AJ Green, again, we talked about I let him shoot through it. 12 points tonight, 2 rebounds, 4 of 5 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3. He was a plus 20 tonight. And Kevin Porter Jr., 8 points, 5 boards, 3 assists from him, 4 of 5 from the field. Only 1 turnover tonight, a team high plus 31. He was in during a few of those big spurts that the Milwaukee Bucks had. Looking at on the other side of things for the 76ers, Yabasui, 22, I probably butchers his name, 22, 6 and 3, 8 of 15 from the field, 4 of 9 from the 3-point line. Bona had 28 tonight. That's not good.
Yo.
Yeah, what? Oh, I didn't say Bona. I wouldn't even think he had Bona. That's crazy. Edwards with 8 points, 8 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals. Quentin Grimes, my guy. I've always been a fan of Quentin Grimes, and he's really starting to play very well. 24 points, 10 assists. Butler at 14 points, 4 assists. Council 4 points. Lonnie Rocker 4 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists from him. Jalen Hood-Schifino from Indiana, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists from him. Again, the way this thing started, you didn't know how it was gonna go. Let me walk that back. I think I always knew how it was going to end up. I don't feel like it was ever really in doubt. But again, Philly got up 17. They got up 17. Bucks erased the 7. I think they mentioned on the broadcast, the Bucks erased the 17-point lead in 4 minutes. So in that second, between the end of the first and the start of the second. So they took care of that very nice. I believe they were up 1 or 2 or something like that, headed into the second half. Third quarter, more of the same. But Philly, again, to their credit, they played hard. They made the Bucks work for it. And they didn't, it really felt like more of a dress rehearsal than like you go out there, roll the ball, and somebody else dies, which again, I think was good. I think that's good for the Bucks. Now, you can argue how it should have looked, but I thought that was good. You had to go out and you played a team that the Philadelphia Sixers, for what it's worth, they played much harder. They went out, they out-hustled the Bucks for the majority of the game. Like, you had to go get that one. I want to see what the shots ended up as. The Bucks took 82 shots. Philadelphia took 89. So, again, it's another example of, another team getting up more looks than the Milwaukee Bucks. Not by much, but I thought the Bucks did a good job. They cleaned up the turnovers second half. Only 11 to Philadelphia's 13 tonight. And then rebounding always is a factor. Philly got 11 offensive boards. The Bucks only had 8. But I thought that was better in the second half too. A lot of energy, effort, kind of situation issues for the Bucks, I thought. And some of the same things rear their ugly heads where defensively the breakdowns, and again, I know you don't like it, but to me the breakdowns start with a lot of Brook Lopez. There's just no reason this Alec Bona got 28 and 6. There's just no reason that he got 28 and 6. But again, he's rebounding the ball. He was doing a lot of the dirty work, a lot of things the Bucks weren't doing. And then I just thought, again, when Brook Lopez, he can't do anything outside of the paint. So a lot of them, they're swing. You get us rotating and running, and they're getting open looks. And so, but anyway, I won't belabor the point. I don't think we have to be super, super long tonight. either. But getting all over the place here. But again, I'm just happy the Bucks got a win, much needed win. You're back in the 5 spot. You can kind of control this thing here with especially with the Anthony Edwards injury. If you win the games you're supposed to win during these last 6 or 7 or whatever it is, 6 games left, win the ones you're supposed to win, you should be able to be in a tie. And you should, the way I think about it, you should really maybe only need one of the 2 in Detroit. Maybe win that first one, and then you can take a rest with your guys and get ready and prepare for the playoffs. But that's what I saw. Justin, what'd you see?
Yeah, man, a lot of the same stuff that you saw. But let's go to the post game from Darvin Ham, Mr. Ham, the dude that the Lakers said can't coach worth a damn. Darvin. So he said Doc told him that his stomach was real bad and his next man up. But then he walked that back a little bit and said next men up because they have a phenomenal coaching staff in Milwaukee. Hell of a catch by Jackson Churio, by the way. Sorry. It's hard to focus with the Milwaukee Brewers on, but we go thug it out tonight, man. We had a nail biter. Talk about how amazing Giannis' playmaking was tonight. And just talk about how much Giannis has stepped up since Dame's been out, since Bobby been out, since Jericho Sims has been out. I thought it was key, man. The man did everything tonight. There's nothing you can look for him and say, I wish he would have done this or he wish he would have done that. They watched a ton of film after that skid. And the Bucks determined that they needed a second and third option. Talked about guys each night stepping up a different time. Ryan Rollins, Kyle Kuzma, Brook Lopez, a bunch of different dudes just stepping up and playing good. He's thought that the Milwaukee Bucks, like you alluded to, Trey, came out very slow and lethargic. And the Philadelphia came out with a lot of energy. I think that's because they mentioned it on the broadcast on the radio. They may not mention it on TV. These guys aren't just playing for a win. These guys are playing for their livelihood here. And they're playing for a check, a spot on someone's roster next year. A lot of these guys are G Leaguers, kind of like that Memphis game we lost last year. After the first quarter, Darvin said that we woke up. The transition defense was terrible in the first quarter. Defensive rebounding was terrible. Keeping the ball out of the paint. Then he talked about how we don't keep the ball out of the teeth of the defense, and that puts a lot of pressure on Brook when you do that. We didn't stop those guys on the perimeter. And then Giannis is one of the rare – he closed out with Giannis is one of the rare guys who has the ability to make everyone around him better, and that is a unique quality. He mentioned LeBron has it, a couple other guys in the league, and I just thought that was absolutely phenomenal. I just love to see the effort, man. There's a time where a Bucks team could have been down 15, 17 points. I don't care who's it against, and they tuck their tails and they walk away. This team has some fight. We may not be the best team in the East, but we're going to try. We're going to try hard. Giannis Antetokounmpo, absolutely amazing. 35, 17, and 20 is just insane. He knew we needed this. He knew we needed to get to this 5 seed, and he did a great job, and this is exactly why you don't trade that man. Just exactly why.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I thought it's one of those nights where you have to find ways to win. Interesting, they said that they were watching some film, and interesting again, he mentions that they had a slow start. And that's one of the things I kind of wanted to get into is why do they have these slow starts? What is that about? Is it just true? Because again, to me, it looks like again I don't have. I guess I asked the chat. Why are the starts so slow? What is it about? There's no reason. And somebody mentions Mark Gomez says 76ers still the second worst team in the league. There's no reason why you're getting down. There's no reason to be down 17. You have playoff aspirations, not just playoff aspirations. Like I get it. And again, the Dame update is interesting as well, and we'll discuss that. But you have aspirations of championship. You have aspirations, whether it's real or not, we can get into it. But you have aspirations to be that level of a team. There's no reason why you start off down to the Philadelphia 76ers. Why? What are you attributing these slow starts to?
Yes. Okay. You're good now.
Got the dub.
Hell of a baseball game. Hell of a pitching effort for the Milwaukee Brewers tonight. Joel Payamps, way to close that thing out, man. Hey, man, Trey, we might have some Brewer stuff coming soon. Just stay tuned, folks. Anyways, let's get back to these 76ers. So this is what I think would happen. I think that the Milwaukee Bucks looked over there and they saw a bunch of, hate to say it, bums. And they were like, oh, man, we could roll the ball out. We could kill these dudes. Now, I hope that's not what happened, but I'm thinking a little bit of that came into play with that. Those young guys came out with a bunch of energy. They were rebounding the ball. They were going back and forth. They were making shots. They were making plays. They, like you said, they out hustled. You know what they look like? They look like a team that didn't want any more government cheese, and they want to sit at the big boy table. And they was out there hooping, man. That was a hell of a first quarter. But as you saw, as the game went on, you saw why they have the record they have, why they've lost those games they have. Eventually, they shot themselves in the foot. Hopefully, this is the last time we got to come up here and talk about effort the rest of this year, though, because you can't come out against these Miami Heat who've won 6 games in a row. By the way, all by double digits. I can't see what the game is doing right now, but before this Memphis game, it was, before Ja went in there and shot up the joint. They were cooking a lot of teams. So you got to come out ready to hoop. And I don't think the Bucks did that, man. It was a lot of no excuses. You just can't do it. I was going to say we were old, but that's not – there's no reason you come out like that when you're fighting for your lives. Because you know what? If Indy trips and they go through one of them 3 or 4 game slumps that they have done all throughout this year, you might be able to jump up in that 4 spot because you don't have to pass them. You just have to tie them.
Yeah, that would be tough. I don't know. I'd have to check Indy's schedule. They have 3. Your Bucks are 3 back on Indy. I think that would be tough. 3 in 6 games you'd have to get. By the way, it's fourth quarter in Miami. They are down to the Grizzlies. And you're not gonna get through. The Pacers have the Jazz tomorrow night. So I mean they really only need to win a couple more, and they would finish that off. But let me see. They got the Jazz tomorrow night, and then who they got? Let's see. Wow. I can't even. I don't see what they got coming up after that. But yeah, they should be fine. I think they're gonna. Huh?
They have the 15th easiest schedule.
Well, who do they have next? Who do they have after that? They do have the Nuggets after. They have the Nuggets after that. But yeah, they realistically they only need a couple more. And they will secure that 4 seed. So I really do think you're looking at the 5 if you can get it. And you really should be able to. Honestly, Detroit's lost 2 in a row. They're 5-5 in their last 10. We know Cade Cunningham has been out with some injury history as well. At IN_Janita says on Twitter little did we know we're actually watching a historic night from Giannis. I didn't realize that this was the first time ever. The stat line 35, 17, and 20. That is the first stat line ever that's been done. We'll get into the greatness that was Giannis as well.
Pacers,
go ahead.
Pacers have Jazz, like you said, then at the Nuggets, home against the Wizards, home against the Cavs, home against the Magic, and at Cleveland.
Yeah, they really only need because again the Bucks would have to basically win out essentially. And they need to lose at least 3 of those. Yeah, I don't see it.
Hey man, crazier things has happened, man.
Well, that's true. That's true. Again, if it was if you had to play Indy down the stretch, and you could make up a full game on them. I could maybe see that. Like if you had the end of the 2 games end of the year, like we have against Detroit, against Indy, I could maybe that would I could kind of get there. I'm gonna have a tough time getting there with when they got to play the Wizards and the Jazz. But who knows? Maybe AJ Johnson will surprise some folks and get a win for him. And maybe maybe Chris Middleton to come back from the grave and he'll get in, maybe put in a 20-point effort to end the season as well and get a much needed victory to beat the Indiana Pacers. But yeah, I hear you, Justin. On the slow starts part of this, man, I can't get with they looked down the bench or they looked down the roster or whatever and they saw who they were playing against. I can't get with it because I see it all the time. I see it all. This isn't the first game where they come out lethargic and aloof and they just allow the other team to either run up some type of a lead or again, especially against an inferior opponent like this. You gotta be ready to take care of business. And again, I don't disagree that maybe some of it, but I just have a hard time when I've seen that happen to them multiple times. That ain't the first time they come out and they just go through it. To me, they look like they were going through the motions for the first, 8 minutes of the game, 9 minutes of the game.
I believe the Philadelphia 76ers shot almost 68, 70% in that first quarter too. Like they made
They did
everything. Brook, hey man, I thought he cleaned it up and played a much better basketball game. I know the kid got 28 on him, but I just look at that. At some point, someone has to foul score the basketball for them. But a big problem with Brook was all those useless fouls. Like if you're the only big on this roster other than Giannis right now. So if you go to the basket, don't foul him. Just give him a damn layup. Because you're fouling him. If he gets in foul trouble, now we stuck potentially putting Kuz at the 5. And we just got lucky that, Philly was as hurt as what we are right now. But you can't do that. Like Brooks, a Stanford guy, he has to be better than that.
Yeah, no, he definitely has to be smart in that. There's no reason you're not. And I see some people in the chat talking about the numbers that Joker had, the 60, 20, and 10. Yeah, but again, that ain't 35, 17, and 20. Good Joker again, great player. We can have a debate too whether he's the best player in the game or whether it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But again, that's another story. Maybe for the when we get to the end of the year, we'll talk about the MVP. NYC Demon with the super chat, appreciate it. He says Giannis at 80% from the free throw line in the last 4 games. He's amazing, 35, 17, 20, and he looked like he was sleepwalking. Can't wait to see him going 100% in the playoffs. He can take over a series, not just games. Yeah, he absolutely can take over the series, not just a game. There's no question about it, no doubt about it, and we've seen him do that. Let's stay there for a second, Justin, and I do want to talk about the greatness of Giannis. I saw someone on Twitter say that he's the most underrated player in the league. We get so used to watching what he does. When I saw him tonight, and again, I think we kind of, honestly, I'm thinking of what I just did in the monologue and how we've been talking for the last, I don't know how long this show's been going, the first 15 minutes is, I don't think we talked enough. I don't think I talked enough about what Giannis did. I think we take it for granted because we watch it every single day, night in, night out. I don't even have it as a topic here, on the side to talk about what Giannis, like tonight was a special, like I get it. It was the Philadelphia 76ers, but that was a special night that Giannis put in. And again, those guys get paid too. You said they're paying for they're playing for their livelihoods. And you're playing for your livelihood and you letting Giannis dazzle all over the world. I mean, again, I thought the guys connected very well. I thought you got to hit the shots when he makes those nice passes to you. But I thought he just did an excellent job tonight. There was one in particular where he was opposite side of the court, double team, and he just throws he whips a pass over to Taurean Prince. Prince hits the 3-point look, and it's like those are the plays, man. The vision that he has. If Joker is the best passing big in the league, is Giannis number 2? Because, the passes I see him make out of the doubles, out of the triples, where all eyes are on him, finding the open guy. That was just as impressive to me as how he shot the ball. And, oh, by the way, you're right, NYC Demon. And if you're talking about, and Todd is always talking in here, talking about the free throw numbers, when you – that's the only thing that holds him back from these monster nights. Like if he goes 4 of 11 from the free throw line, that's again we're picking hairs, but that's 29, and it's not 35, 17, and 10. So I will say him hitting the free throws. To me, it's not as much about whether you win or lose, but it's more about how gaudy those numbers will look. Lag says Giannis' free throws have looked smoother lately. I can never tell rhyme or reason why he I agree, and then but would it surprise me next week if he goes back to his clunky routines? It wouldn't. So it's like he can't just hone in on whatever that is. But again, that's the only flaw in his game. I thought he looked good defensively. Somebody else mentioned that as well. Yeah, man. What did you? What more do you say? What do you say when you see a game like this where Giannis absolutely took over that entire basketball game and he looked like the best player in the world?
So that's what separates him from SGA and separates him from Joker, in my opinion. Of course, I'm going to be biased. I got a Bucks shirt on, right? But Giannis is the baddest man walking because he controls all facets of the game. What do you say? He had 2 steals. He's always you always got to look out of the left or right side when you go into the basket because he'll send that junk 4 rows deep. He just makes the right basketball plays, and that's why we live with his goofy turnovers sometimes, because he's making the attempt to make the right basketball play. I never have a problem with any of the Bucks with turnovers if you're trying to make the right play. Now, him rebounding the ball, he may have hurt us, Trey. We're getting out rebounded here. We're getting out rebounded there. He said, hold on, hold my beer. Be right back. Let me go get 20 on you. I mean, whoever your best player is, he's not afraid to check you. He's not afraid to jump up. If it's John Morant, if it's Obi Toppin, if it's insert monster dunker here, he's going to jump up and try to block that shot. Like, Joker is a very skilled basketball player. He absolutely is. But Joker is never your number one option on the defensive end, ever. Joker will never be first team all defense, ever. SGA, another good basketball player, does a lot of things well, but he's a scorer. And he has a team defense around him that is phenomenal. Not saying he's a slouch on defense the way the Joker is, but he has a great system. Giannis is a system on both sides of the ball. And, you know, I remember Stack 5 said, if you're not playing both sides of the ball, I don't know what you're doing out here. We've never had to question that with Giannis ever. Even when his offense was just a little bit sketchy, he still played that defensive end. He impacted games since he stepped on that floor in 2012, 13, that season. And or was it 13, 14? One of them. I get so. But this is why you don't trade this dude for draft picks. You don't entertain Brooklyn. You can gear up all you want. You give me your first round pick for the next 20 years. You know what? Giannis was a Hail Mary, and us Bucks fans, not talking about these two right here, but some of y'all that be on that BS in the chat, you need to appreciate this dude and appreciate him. He's the best athlete ever to walk in the 414. And ladies and gentlemen, in the state of Wisconsin, how about that? We've had some great ones too.
Yeah.
Hank Aaron ain't no slouch. Robin Young wasn't a slouch. We ain't even got to go to Aaron Rodgers, Bart Starr. He is the best athlete ever.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't sit here and refute any of that. Giannis is, again, when I think of my two favorite players all time, NBA, NFL. Of course, my guy in the NFL is Cam Newton.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, it's Cam. But it's just one of those guys that, and because you mentioned a couple guys, he mentioned Aaron Rodgers and Robin Young and Hank Aaron, like the two guys that, and I just think of the two that have been my favorite players all time. I think of Giannis, I think of Cam. Intimidating figure, just looking like that. Those are step off the bus guys. That if you didn't know it, when they step off the bus, it's, oh damn, that's Cam Newton. Oh damn, that is Giannis. Like, they are step off the bus, you might be in trouble. And the other thing about them is, to your point, when you're saying, well, yeah, you don't trade them for him for draft picks. You don't look to blow it up. I'm with you. I'm not at blow it up level. Not when he's in his prime. Not when he's in his prime like this. And to me, Giannis is still extremely good. Let me say this. When I first start to see that decline, that's when I may start to say, okay, let's talk, because you want to be a year. Like, let me talk about Christmas. You want to be a year early than a year late, but Giannis ain't there. Like, I'm not seeing the step. I think about a guy, when I talk about the decline, I think about Blake Griffin in Detroit, where, like, he wasn't good. And by the way, I'm getting an alert to my phone. John Morant got a game winner over the Miami Heat. I don't know if he was shooting off guns for that one, but
well, he just hugged T.
Okay, but yeah, like I think that when I think about Giannis, and like I said, I'm talking about Blake Griffin, that fall off, and you could just see it. And Blake Griffin put up some decent numbers in Detroit. And they went to the playoffs that year. That first year he was there, I think, too. But it just didn't look the same. It didn't look like when he was with Lob City. I don't think he dunked the ball. And he was shooting jump shots. He was an okay player. Like, I don't want to, like, that's when you can maybe talk. But right now, the talk is, it makes no sense when Giannis is playing at the level he's playing at. William Arrange, appreciate the super chat, says, man, there are times Giannis came off and the lead would slip away. Bobby Portis is going to be vital for those bench groups. I'll stay there with you. Again, because you guys know me, I don't mind when I'm wrong. I don't mind saying I'm wrong. I was wrong when we were having that conversation about the fake rebounds and the fake stuff and fake. It is apparent that I kind of took it for granted that like, and it's crazy. It's crazy to think about it because the balls they really do like fall right in front, and nobody would. And that's why I thought they were fake because the ball boom was right there. Just grab it. Nobody go get it. I see why Bobby wouldn't got because we don't have anybody else to go do it. Like everybody will literally look at it as it comes off the rim right in front of them, and it's just no. So yes, I apologize, Bobby Portis. Those were not fake rebounds. Clearly, we needed somebody 6'10" to see the ball go off and have a mentality of, I'm going to go get the rebound. Because as William points out, I mean, he talking about the bench groups. I think he's thinking about just from a scoring perspective. I'm thinking about just finishing the defensive possession and rebounding the basketball. Like, it is a skill to want to hustle and go get that rebound. And Bobby Portis does have that. So I'm not even talking about him scoring the ball in that second group. I'm just talking rebounding alone. Yes, we could definitely use an extra 8 to 12 rebounds a night that Bobby Portis will provide.
Yeah, so the thing is, right, and you know me, because we talk all the time. Master Parlay dude here, right? I lost my $5 joint to pay me $185 tonight. I needed Taurean Prince to get one more rebound. Taurean Prince. I watched the thing where they got the foul called on Brook, and them dudes, the ball is right in front of him. Taurean, pick it up. We had to pay window. And he falling all over like, hey, look, man, Bobby's gonna come back. And Williams absolutely right with that. But Bobby's gonna bring a swagger to this team, right? He's gonna walk in that locker room. He's gonna say, look, I effed up. This is on Big Bob right here. Let's go get it now. And I played golf in college. You played football. But I can guess from being a fan of my institution and anybody, anytime you got a dude in that locker room that was on Let's Go Get It, that's the dude you want to go to war with. And I think Bob going to come with that. He going to make his shots. He going to do what he got to do, man. I really think we got a realistic shot to get out of this first round with Big Bob and Jericho come back, no matter who we play.
I listen. I'm not. I think there are a lot of people who are counting us out against the Knicks. I'm not going there. No, I'm not. Again, it would be much tougher than playing Indiana for sure. There's no question about it. Just from a matchup perspective, but I'm not counting. Again, and we just talked. One of the reasons because we got Giannis. That's what I was getting to. I didn't even finish the point I was trying to make. But when Cam Newton stepped off that was the difference in being a Carolina Panthers fan for the past. Since 2010 to when he left in 2018, 2019, whatever it was like you felt like every single night. And I'm sure the same thing with the Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers or Brett. You knew when we had a chance. I didn't care what kind of defense we put out there. We had a chance every time because we had that guy. When Giannis steps off the bus, you have a chance to win just because Giannis is there. So yeah, Giannis is going. It doesn't. When you think, again, I'm trying to think, everybody in the East, Giannis, in any series, Giannis will be the best player in the series. When you have the best player in the series, there is 100% a chance that you can win that series. No question about it. So, yeah, I absolutely, I don't think the Knicks will beat us in 5. And so, if you tell me it's going to be at least a 6-game series, yeah, you got a chance to win.
Hey, so shout out to Quick Me 22. He said, no shot, you betting TP rebounds. Trey, you better tell him about me, dog. I'm every weird parlay you could possibly have. But, hey, Quick Me 22. It was TP to get 2 rebounds. Over the 1.5. And he got me to 1. No, but, hey, look, let me tell you. And sorry, Bucks fans. We're going to go down story lane now. You know, this is what OGs do. Hey, man, I remember going to the Panthers and Packers game the year after the Packers won the Super Bowl, when Nick Collins, our HBCU brethren, broke his neck and was done forever against the Carolina Panthers. Hey, Cam Newton as a rookie?
Oh, I know.
He went toe-to-toe with Mr. Rogers.
I remember that.
Toe-to-toe.
Yeah.
Now, is Cam the best thrower of the football? I mean, I know Cam's your guy. I think we can agree that he's not the best thrower of the football. But Cam made winning plays, man. And I know me and Pipe Bomb on the other joint, we crack on you all the time, call him Scam Newton and everything like that. But you're absolutely right, man. I played football for a brief 15-minute timeout in high school. Look, hey, you got to know. Sometimes some brothers belong on the golf course, man. You know, this light skin, when you hit it, it stay purple for a few weeks, man. You gotta get tattoos to cover up some of these 15-minute war wounds that we had out there. But Cam is a dude, he put fear in your heart. I don't care who you are. Giannis a dude that step off that bus like that. And he even just sweats. And then he get up there and he get to wearing the cutoff joint and he's shooting. Listen, you go ahead, you take that. That's the only hope you have to beat the Milwaukee Bucks these last 4 or 5 years in the playoffs is to have Giannis get hurt. A healthy Giannis, I think that Miami Heat team that owned Drew Holiday would beat him.
Yep.
I think Indiana Pacers, Obi around there, Flyer would have been grounded if he going against Giannis. There is no one on this earth, and I know the homie in the chat said that SGA, I think it was Mark Gomes, said that SGA is all first team and all that stuff. And yeah, I hear you, but he's not Giannis. SGA is not going to walk out there and try to check Jimmy Butler, try to check Kevin Durant, try to check Steph Curry. Like Giannis goes out there and whoever your dog is, he wants to show you he's a big dog. And that's why he wears that Brandon Jennings tough crowd stuff, because he's earned it. Everybody can't wear that stuff. Because some of y'all dudes that be wearing that dog stuff, shout out to Trey Pops, you really can't.
SGA defends well. I mean, I think he's a good defender. I think he defends well.
Absolutely.
Because he has the size to do it. So I don't have any issues with how he defends. Now Joker, on the other hand, I mean, he's terrible. I mean, I don't know what he even tries to do defensively. In the chat, Rick Hamlin says, nice to have a coach that understands. Are you talking about Darvin Ham? Speaking of coaches, though, how about, we do have to shout out Doc Rivers, 7th all-time. Moves into 7th. You can say whatever you want about Doc. He moves into 7th all-time. Wins, he passed Phil Jackson? So he passes Phil Jackson. So
1156.
Good on him. Deshaun Hill says, Jeff Teague is a clown for bringing that up. Yeah, exactly. Tish says Jeff Teague resents the Bucks and Giannis because people don't credit him for doing it during the championship run. Exactly. He wanted to be the E factor and turned out not to be needed. Right. He wasn't needed at all.
I don't agree with that.
He had one. Come on. He had one game where he did anything. Other than that, he was an afterthought. The Nassus, he's just as important as the Nassus.
Nah, he had a couple good. He had a couple good. He had a couple good 60-second spells.
Yes.
And look, I will not discredit anybody that brought us a parade in Milwaukee.
I will. I don't have any problem.
I know you. You finna get on Justin Jackson ass next,
right?
Because he another hater.
Yeah.
Look, Jeff absolutely played a pivotal role in when Giannis got hurt. Now, we're not going to say that Jeff was all anything, but he gave Drew Holiday the ability to go to the water cooler, get a little water, take a deep breath, and come back in the game. He did his job. However, I don't know the two dudes are on the show. I do find their show extremely entertaining, and I think them other two dudes, sometimes they're funnier than Jeff Teague is. But
Behan and I can't remember the other dude. It's Behan and somebody else, but yeah.
Them dudes didn't hoop, did they?
Nah, I don't think Behan hoop. I think his brother, his brother's on the show. His brother played at Wake Forest, I think.
Yeah, and he plays in the 3-on-3 thing.
Yeah, I think his brother played at Wake.
But his brother did tell him, or someone told him, that you needed that chip to validate your career, regardless of how you got it.
Oh, a lot of people do. Yeah, I think that's true. I think a lot of people do want the chip, and they feel that they need the chip to validate their career, especially if you're a role player. I think it makes for a role player, yes, to get that chip will validate you. Like a superstar, like Chuck, like Charles Barkley, his is validated by all the things that he did in his career. But what the chip does for him, it would elevate him to that other status of those other guys. Where Embiid, put like this, it's, you know what it is? It's the difference between
But Jeff Teague is Kurt Heinrich.
Right. Yeah, I'm just I'm trying to think of like the
Sorry, Jeff.
stars. Like it's a difference between like because Anthony Davis has a ring. Anthony Davis had the same kind of ring as Giannis Joker, right? So Anthony Davis is probably, and again he's also hurt as well. But take the injuries away, Anthony Davis is probably pound for pound in that kind of conversation. But when you don't have the ring, and again I'm giving some lenience to the injuries as well. Let's say Anthony Davis was not as injured as he was. And he played like regular amount of minutes, and he always was kind of in the lineups. Without the ring as a number one, Anthony Davis is not Giannis. He's not on the same tier as Giannis. He's a tier below Giannis and Joker because those two have a ring. Embiid same way because he does. We know what he can do. MVP. He doesn't have the ring to validate it. And then go up to the other sport. Same thing with my guy Cam. Cam Newton really needed that ring to that. Like Cam Newton is a better. Somebody said he only had 5 good seasons. He's a better player by far than Eli Manning. But when you don't have, but Eli Manning has the rings to validate, and Eli Manning can give you that extra. Well, I got the ring. So again, the rings do matter, and all rings aren't created equal. And so when you're talking about a role player like Teague, yeah, having that ring is different. Well, so perfect. I got the example of what I was looking for. Because this is how the whole Cam Newton thing started. I got into some trouble on Twitter because Carmelo Anthony isn't getting to the Hall of Fame. And that's why I was like, yeah, if the football hall was like the basketball hall, Cam would have been in. And that Melo is the perfect example of very, very good, exceptional player. You're scored the ball in an insane clip. He's not on the level as some of those other guys. Another guy, Damian Lillard, is in the same kind of category where hell of a player, excellent player. You're not where as far as superstars go, you're not on that next tier level because you don't have one. Chris Paul, same way. So again, all those guys.
Let's take this way off the rails now. We might as well. We flirting with it.
Yeah, I know. We're flirting all the way up. Yeah, we all.
Yeah, we. So I'm gonna warn y'all, chat. Y'all about to get pissed off on me now. Pissed off at me now. This is from a Packers fan. Cam Newton deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. This Packers fan. I ain't got no leashes. I ain't Trey. I don't live in a 704. I don't keep pounding. Pound what? Hey yo. Hey, Cam Newton had a better NFL career than Damian Lillard's NBA career and Carmelo Anthony's NBA career. Here's why I said that. Neither one of those dudes ever won the MVP to say that you are the greatest player in your league. Cameron Newton won that. And from my eyes, I used to have 2. Now I got 4. So Cam Newton deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for an MVP alone. Well, anybody with MVP should automatically go to the Hall of Fame.
Let me ask you a question though, Justin, if you go on that. Would you if you're saying that the MVP validates, are you saying that Joel Embiid has a better career than Melo has a better career than Damian Lillard because he has an MVP? Because that's what you're saying. And that's King. You're right. Yeah. You said King's right. Teague's brother went to Kentucky, not Wake Forest. Sorry. Yeah, you are right.
So with basketball, it's a little bit different in my opinion. Because when Joel, I'm about to contradict the hell out of myself.
Yeah, I know. That's what you're going to do.
Where the Waffle House at? How I get the Waffle House for you? We on the way. I can't give Joel Embiid credit because I feel like he got a poverty MVP. I don't feel like Cam's was poverty. Cam had some of the best.
No, it wasn't. His was not poverty. Nah, that was a hell of a year.
He beat out a Stafford, a Matt Ryan in his prime, an Aaron Rodgers in his prime. Was Peyton one in his prime. I'm just saying, and I know that Mark want to bring in the gold medals and stuff like that. Hey, Cam, look, you never really designed your defense for Joel Embiid.
Ooh, I don't know that. I would disagree with that.
When you played Portland, you had to stop Dame. When you played Melo, you had to stop Melo. I don't know, man. Hey, look, maybe I'm just a Joel Embiid.
Yeah, hater. I think you. And here's the thing: I don't hate Joel Embiid. I do. I think he's just an injured player. He's just always injured. And again, I don't hold that. I don't hold that against him he's just always injured, and so he'll never be what he should be or could have been. Mark Gomez says Joel was dominant as MVP. He was dominant. There's no question about it.
He wasn't more dominant than Giannis was that year, though.
It just ended the way that we all predicted it would because he ends with another injury. That's the only thing. That's the only thing about it.
Joel, he fool's gold. The 1 year where he should have got the MVP was the year he didn't get it.
Right.
They gave it to Joker again.
And he should have got it that year.
Right. And that's what I struggle with. Joel's a great player. Cam Newton is a phenomenal player. I shouldn't have said that. I threw the whole chat off. I threw the whole show off.
Well, how do you think of Titonia World? I actually that is a good. I had never done that before. Titonia World says Cam is the Iverson of the NFL. That is a good. That is. I mean, when you think about culture, when you think about the whole thing, culture, everything about it, he said, I don't disagree with that. And Iverson flamed out early as well. You know what I say earlier, but he flamed out when Denver in his career never really got off track. I don't disagree with that one. I really don't.
Y'all just want me to piss y'all off tonight. Iverson, if it ain't for a BS call on Scott Williams, never sees the finals.
Oh yeah, well that's
yes. I can't do no Iverson talk, man. I don't like that dude. He never won on no level. He's selfish. The dude was on the injured list for mental health stuff. It was at the CIAA throwing a party with Jermaine Dupri. I ain't entertaining nothing about Allen Iverson. I don't like the dude. I ain't wearing no Reebok. I got a couple pair of them joints in the room.
I used to have AIs back in the day.
Hey, I ain't buying them Iverson golf shoes though. Believe that. Them things is terrible.
I ain't know he had golf shoes.
Let me say one more thing about Philly and the Bucks, man, just because we here and then we get this thing back on the
we'll get back on a second. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, y'all. Because you talked about Barkley for a second. I just got to take y'all down memory lane. I was born in 82, young 7-year-old Justin in the Bradley Center. Wasn't no BMOs or nothing like that with it. It was the Bradley Center. We had the Kelly Green Court. Charles Barkley threw a brother, threw the fish tank at one of them bars in Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
Came back, closeout game on us, dropped 38, and I don't know the stats, but I remember him killing us. Charles Barkley is, I've seen Jordan live, I've seen Kobe live, I've seen Shaq live, I've seen a lot of guys live. Pause.
It's crazy.
Charles Barkley, that performance in that closeout game against the Milwaukee Bucks may have been the best performance I've seen live with the eyes that God has given me. He is like, I think that a lot of the younger generation that are born 90s, 2000s, etc. And no disrespect for y'all, because I love y'all culture. I think y'all do a lot of good things, music, basketball, all this stuff. But I don't think that people really, truthfully understand how dope the round mound rebound machine dude was. He was amazing.
Yeah, no, there's no question about that. That he absolutely was. Charles Paulzine did ask how I became a Panthers fan and a Bucks fan. I'm actually from North Carolina, and then I've been in Milwaukee from 2010 till I came back here 2022. 2021. So that's basically how that happened. And again, everybody's like, how long? I never got into the Bobcat. Crazy again, and I will full admit, if the Hornets had never moved to New Orleans and they never rebranded as the Bobcats, I would be a Hornets fan to this day. But nobody ever got into the. I just never got into the Bobcats. I never got into it. Never got into it.
But if that happened, you wouldn't have the best post-game show on ever. So thank you. Thank you, Bob Johnson, and thank you, whoever moved them jokers, because in this
George Stein, I think. George Stein, so whatever his name was. I believe he used to own the New Orleans Hornets too. Not the New Orleans Hornets. He used to own the Saints. I think.
Oh yeah,
maybe. I might be wrong. Okay, let me get back onto the onto the game here. Bucks win at 126, 113 tonight. And I want to get to, so we talked about Giannis' dominance. We talked about some of the slow starts. Let's get to the Damian Lillard update, which is also crazy because it's something, I feel like a couple, when I gave the Dame Lillard update a couple days ago, I didn't really say it with my chest. I kind of threw it in there that night that I'd heard that Damian Lillard was And the reason I didn't is because what I'd heard was it was 1 to 6 months. And so I was like, man, that is a long time that's a very wide range to give an update of 1 to 6 months. But again, that's what the guy told me. He said, hey, because I was asking around, and the update I got was 1 to 6 months, depends on how he feels. He's been on blood thinners now for 2 weeks. He's in week 2. At the end of this week, he'll be into week 3. But he's progressing nicely. And again, it could be so, and because the whole point of me asking that was to figure out, really what I was trying to figure out was, is 1 month realistic, or are they BSing us? And are they telling us, this because again, my original thought was they were saying that because if the Bucks made a magical run, that maybe in the finals he could come back. And the guy told me, like, no, that's not what it is. They really think it could be 1 month, but it also could be much longer. So that's also, and then out of nowhere, yesterday, Shams comes in and basically gives the exact same report. And so I'm like, damn, he was right. He was right again. Yeah, so it was.
How much Shams pay you for that, dog?
I know. I think we got the same guy. But yeah, Shams basically comes out and says, that Damian Lillard is progressing. There is a chance that he's going to play. Now, Damian Lillard did not travel tonight, didn't get on the plane. Apparently, Doc Rivers said before the game he could have taken the plane and gone, but they thought this is progressing so good, he's doing so much better, the cloud is dissipating or whatever you want to call it so well. Why put him on the plane and risk reversing anything when you have him going? You saw him in a video the other day for Brook Lopez's birthday, and he's on the court and he's shooting around doing something. I mean, again, the playoffs don't start for there's at least 3 more weeks before you get to the playoffs. Like, I mean, I think I was really prepared, and I hate that I'm getting my hopes up because I was really prepared for, all right, we're going to have to do this thing without Damian Lillard, and now it's just going to crush me because I'm getting my hopes back on, like, oh, Damian Lillard might come back. And again, I think that changes the dynamics of everything out east, and it really gets to this point of, even if he's not ready for game 1, like, could he be ready for the next round? I'm not pressed. Oh, it really doesn't matter. No, let's go out and beat whoever the hell it is round 1, and especially if we don't have Dame, because maybe Dame comes back, Dame comes back in the middle of the game round 1. We're back to a point of really being, I don't know, when 3 days ago I think we were at the point of there's no way Dame's gonna play.
Yeah, 3 days ago we were talking about Quentin Rollins and Kevin Porter Jr. had to step up and had to just, kind of fill the void or whatever. So this is the first thing, right? I trust the Milwaukee Bucks doctors. I trust Doc Rivers. I trust the coaching staff. But he has to make sure he's making the right decision for his life. Like, I think there's a couple people in the chat that have had blood clots, that have done things, that have went through this stuff, and it is serious. So we can't take this lightly. And my excitement is just at an all-time high right now. This is very symbolic to when Giannis messed up that knee, and I drove to Atlanta, Georgia, and back in the same day because I was so distraught. I was just like, man, why us? Dame's presence on the bench in sweats can catapult this team to the Eastern Conference Finals. Just his presence. He don't even got to check in. If he checks in, oh baby, we about to do something. What that boy? You watch a little wrestling, Trey?
Yeah, I watch a little bit.
What that boy is Seth Rollins? That boy that come out with that song, burn this joint down, burn this bitch down. Who is that?
I don't see that. You ain't gonna get. I don't know who all the theme music is. I know the Yeet. That's somebody. That's Jay Oso. Joey Oso.
Yeah, well, whoever got burn it down, chat, help me out. We gonna burn this joint down. Keep sleeping on us. New York think it's sweet. I was talking to one of my colleagues today, and she's a Dunkin' Donut drinker, and she was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna kill you. You don't even have a shot to play us." Okay, we gonna play some basketball. Giannis got a chip on his shoulder. He ain't looking 120%, but he's looking good enough to go. But Hey, man, the important thing is that Dame is healthy. He's coming back, and we're going to do something. I think a lot of times we see this with the Bucks. It's kind of alluding to kind of help with the game plan, but this seems like there's a lot more seriousness with this. Shout out to my sister DJ too, watching the joint. Resident Bulls fan that checks out the homies. She said if she played a drinking game and took a shot for every time we mentioned Giannis, she'd be on the floor peeing on herself right now. Welcome to the Milwaukee Bucks, lad, DJ.
There you go. Best player in the game. We're gonna mention Giannis a lot. Take another shot. And speaking of which, Giannis FT Watcher tweeted me and says, "Started the stream from the start a little late, trying to sneak comparing Cam to Giannis. Only live game I saw Cam. He only managed one garbage time touchdown and they had to bring in Derek Anderson." Trying to remember what game that was with Cam when Cam only got one garbage touchdown. I'm trying to remember that one. But okay, yeah, funny. Yeah, I always get
beat our Packers live.
Yeah, I always get blamed for trying to sneak Cam into conversations there.
You never just for clarity's sake. You just said they were your two favorite players all time.
I really did. Yeah, I really wasn't comparing those two. I was just saying. Well, I guess I was because I was saying, when they step off the bus. So in a way. But yeah, no. This Damian Lillard update here. I mean, again, you have an absolute chance of getting this. And Ed says, forgot that they had to play in game week, so it's almost 4 weeks. So he still has a lot of time to potentially get back. And I think it's a great point Ed mentions here, is saying that the blessing is that other guys are getting valuable minutes. And again, that means if Damian Lillard comes back, like let's say if he comes back, I think Rollins still has a role. Rollins has to have a role. I think that KPJ at times can have a role. So I don't know what all it means and what Doc does with the rotation and what he does. But I thought, again, talking about role wise, I'm glad, again, Derry Bird looks like he's getting his shot back a little bit. And so from the guard perspective, Taurean Prince is always hitting that shot. But I just think he's playing out of position. And so really, if you can get Damian Lillard back, again, do you think about starting Ryan Rollins at the 2? Or KPJ or Gary Trent or AJ Green even. I just want somebody at that 2 that is not that is playing more in position, because Taurean Prince is playing out of position. There's no doubt about it. But Damian Lillard coming back really changes everything, and it gives you an opportunity to win a championship. Like, again, I admit, I'm not afraid to say I don't think they can win a championship with the roster they have right now. But again, if Giannis is going to go Giannis like he did tonight, like, again, 35, 17, and 20, that type of a player, mix in a Damian Lillard who can score at will with that, now we got something going. And also, all I'll say is it also goes back to this point of people being upset, and I don't want to do the whole Dame versus Giannis thing. Giannis can facilitate. I know people feel like he can. Why is he out the ball all the time? See, I'm not going to do it to Dame, but when last time anybody else had 20 assists? Who the last person had 20 assists for the Bucks? Is Brandon Jennings? I feel like
you got to Google that one.
Scott Skiles? Was he playing? Did he play for the Bucks?
He did.
Yeah, that was
before he went to Orlando.
Was it Scott Skiles had the last 20-some assist game? I know Brandon Jennings had some big assist games. I don't know that he had 20. Maybe he had 18 or 19. I feel like I remember a Brandon Jennings game where he had 19 assists. But yeah, I mean, Giannis can dish out 20 assists, man. Like, let's
know the last one?
Who? Jennings. Beno Udrih.
You one more guess. We had a trivia for Curly's right now.
Yeah, we are. One more guess. Recent or old?
During that, green and growing, fear the deer.
Not Oscar.
No. Green and red uniforms. Current greenie. Damn, we didn't have so many green and red uniforms.
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't know who is it.
Ramon
Sessions.
24.
Okay. Oh wow, Ramon Sessions had 24 assists. Wow. So he was playing. Was he passing it? Was Gary Neal on those teams? Is that? I think he might have passed the ball to Gary Neal to get all those. That's a good name, Ramon Sessions out there. I almost was about to say Jared Bezos. I was like, Jared Bezos never got that many assists. But yeah, I mean, but my point there is yeah, my point was just to say Giannis can facilitate, and as long as guys are hitting the shots, it makes sense. When Giannis gets into trouble, it's where he gets the ball. That's what he has to do, and what he can't be doing all the time is doing too much dribbling. And I thought they did a really good job tonight of Giannis really. I don't know if you realized it. He played under control. Like tonight was not one of the nights where he was just rim running all of it. Like he did a little bit of that, but everything was under control. Everything was everything was very slow, methodical. Like that was one of the when I think of Giannis taking over games, I think of him doing it with brute strength and just taking over the game. I'm the biggest, baddest mofo out here. Tonight, Giannis, that was one first. Giannis did it with his mind too. He didn't just do it with brute strength. He did it with his mind, and he took over that game. He picked his spots. That might have been one of the best just all-around games I've ever seen Giannis play offensively because everything was in rhythm and nothing felt forced. Like it didn't feel like he was just running through everybody to get his buckets. He made everybody pay. You double, or I'm gonna make you pay with the pay. I joked and said it was Joker-esque, but it was kind of Joker-esque. Where I'm gonna beat you a multitude of ways. Hit a couple jump shots, got to the basket a little bit, made the right passes, and again everything was and got a transition fast break, all of those things. So again, my point is if you add Dame to all of that, and yeah, you absolutely have just as good a chance to win a championship as anybody else to me.
Yeah, I mean we really have to take just a strong moment of awe for what Giannis did tonight, man. Like this is, I mean, and then again, back to the defensive end, he's checking whoever needs to be checked. He's making the plays that have to be made. You see the lead drop off when Giannis leaves the floor. Like, if that's not an MVP, I don't know what an MVP is, man. Giannis is absolutely amazing. And the difference between Ramon Session and shout out to Ramon for that 24 assists, is coming from a power forward, though, allegedly. I mean, you don't see a lot of guys walking this earth that are as good as what he is. I would take him, if I was starting my team from scratch, I would take him over the Joker every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Sorry, not sorry. And we just really need to appreciate this in Milwaukee. I mean, we were back to the days of throwing ticker tape parades for Ramon Session getting 24 assists in April 2008 against the Chicago Bulls, right? It's just such a great thing to watch. But the key to these 20 assists isn't just Giannis. Got to give some credit to Derrick Bird knocking down them shots.
Yep.
Gary Trent Jr., Kyle Kuzma making the right play, Brook Lopez finishing, Quentin Rollins, all these dudes making the right play. This is a phenomenal basketball game. I know we're going to look at it. We're going to say it's the lowly 76ers. They didn't have this. They didn't have that. Completely get it. I totally understand what you're saying. They're a bad basketball team. Absolutely they are. But we've lost to bad basketball teams. We've lost to teams just as bad. So keep hooping.
Yeah, and again, what you can't deny is the shooting. The shooting's been hot. And the Bucks again they had a couple quarters now. He shot 70-80%, not tonight, but you did that in a couple games prior. You shot over 50% tonight. Again, their issue is the effort and getting up the same amount of shots as the other team. So if you add in all the hustle plays as well as shooting, that's what you want to see. Let me see. Ed Duggar says, would you start Kuzma or TP with Giannis, Lopez, Dame, Rollins? I'd 100% start Kuzma. Just because. Again, the defense, because I have a problem with TP and Brook Lopez defensively. There's so many. I just have so many problems with some of the off ball stuff. And I think Kuzma defensively, again, I know everybody just watches offense and they look at that's the only thing they can wrap their minds around for how they. Not saying everybody, but there are a lot of people. That's the only thing they can wrap their minds around when they evaluate players. I see Kuzma again. I think his defense has been, I think he's been great. I think there's sometimes off-ball, some miscommunication stuff. I sometimes attribute that to him being new. But again, they do a lot of things. Like I think he was probably the best player that really between him and AJ Green, I think those are the two best players that defended Grimes tonight, and it just shows his versatility because he can defend bigs, he can defend wings, and so I think from a defensive perspective, you need that. And again, if Dame is in the lineup as well, and it's Dame, like I think even less. From a offensive standpoint, do you need that additional offense? And again, but you got to be able to get stops, and that's what the playoffs are about. Q says, Big Bob back on Tuesday, 100%. That's what you want to see as well, and I think that's obviously going to help. We talked about that a little bit too, but again, tonight's a good win. No matter how you want to look at it, tonight's a good win. For the Bucks. Daniel Cantrell says Giannis was great against 23-win team. I mean, it is what it is. Like, I mean, you can't. This is the schedule. This is what's put in front of us. You got to go get a win. And I'll just say this: all these games down the stretch are important. And I'm not really watching for what the Sixers are doing. I'm watching for us. I'm watching for what we look like, and we need to be rolling. And so you win by 13. You spotted them 17. I was just happy with the way we closed this out. And again, I'm going to be excited and happy about all these wins down the stretch. And these are important games because you need to win them as you're fighting for playoff position, playoff seeding. And you know where else you need to be?
Curly's
Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Head out there to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Get out there, enjoy yourself. Lakeview Boulevard, Pewaukee, Wisconsin. They have $3 bottles of pints during all national televised Milwaukee Bucks games. And then every Wednesday and Thursday, what are they doing?
Bingo and trivia.
Yes, sir. And if you do well, man, you don't have many games left, but so you're getting Bucks tickets. You do well in Bingo Trivia Section 102, row 23 seats 1 and 2. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Tell them the Guru sent you. Tell them the Cream City Crossover sent you. It's Curly's Waterfront sponsor of the Cream City Crossover. Good win tonight, 126-113. Well, and yeah, let's go to before we go ahead.
Well, just one last thing about Giannis, because I know that Daniel's talking about that Joker did this, Joker did that. We got to remember that half the plays Giannis getting hacked that aren't called.
That's the truth.
So, I mean, the fact that he does this and he don't have the same whistle that Joker has, hell, he ain't got the same whistle that Quentin Grimes has. Just, Giannis is absolutely amazing. No shade to Joker. Joker is a great player. He's an elite player. He's one of the top 5 of his era. But is he better than 34? No. Not even close.
You know what's interesting? I think, again, on the Joker-Giannis debate, I'll give you that he's a better offensive player overall, totality. I'll give it to you.
Absolutely.
But defensively, it's not it's whatever. Like the gap between Giannis and between Joker and Giannis offensively is not as wide as the gap between Giannis and Joker defensively. So when just talking about Kuzma, I know everybody likes to look at the game and all they can think about is numbers and stats. And I go on the other end and I go, yeah, Joker can do all those things. Defensively, it's not even close. So, yeah, I could easily make the argument that Giannis is a better player. And again, to me, that's the conversation we talked about earlier. It's going to come down to championships. And, if Giannis puts up another championship, then, yeah, I'm putting him, again, right now they're neck and neck. Giannis gets another one, I'm putting him in front of Joker. Joker grabs the second one, I'm going to put Joker in front of Giannis for totality of career. That to me is where the championship ring debate kind of goes, and when you start splitting the hairs of how they do it and if you leading different teams and whatnot.
Let me ask you a question. So you look at Chris Middleton. Sorry, I know I said I was never going to mention him again. You look at Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
Both those two guys played in All-Star games.
Sure.
Would they still play in an All-Star game with Joker? How many All-Star games Jamal Murray got?
I think Jamal Murray's been at least 1 or 2. How many Jamal Murray got? 1 or 2?
I don't know.
Can't be that many. I don't think it's that many. But yeah, I don't know because I'm with you there. I don't know as far as what they could do All-Star wise because Jamal Murray got there, but did anybody else from that team? I know Michael Porter Jr. been an All-Star. Aaron Gordon been an All-Star. So,
Sorry.
No, go ahead. But yeah, let's go to what you are you looking up Jamal Murray's All Stars? You find that? Let me know.
Jamal Murray, guard for the Denver Nuggets, has never been named an All Star.
Damn.
So
I thought he got one.
I think that's for me. That settles the debate right there. Right there. Like Joker is this, Joker is that. Giannis is so great. He's making guys that half the Bucks fans hate, say he should be traded. The other half are ready to die on the hill for him. And God forbid, Drew Holiday left us as the year he left, he was an all-star to a 6th option.
Mark Gomes says Prime. Mark says Prime, Chris, and Drew are better than Jamal Murray. Prime Chris, yes. Drew. Defensively, you can't argue it.
But we didn't have Prime Drew offensively in Milwaukee.
No, we didn't.
Like Prime Drew offensively was in Philly. New Orleans.
Oh, yeah, New Orleans. Sorry, New Orleans.
Either or. I'll take Philly.
Yeah. I think New Orleans. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's tough.
That's what makes Giannis so great, though. You got dudes like Pat Connaughton staying in the NBA because of Giannis. Brook is still in the league right now because of Giannis. You put Brook on the Orlando Magic, he probably would have been cut 2 years ago. I love Brook. Is Bobby as good as what he is? I don't know.
No, Bobby's no. Nah, but same with I go the same with like Malcolm Brogdon, where he went away and it was never the same. Never
Eric
the same.
Bledsoe.
Out of the league. Look at Eric out of the league after he got done with Giannis. So yeah, no, I don't disagree with any of that.
And then the last point about it, every Bucks fan has talked about every deficiency of every coach we've had, whether it's been Jason Kidd, whether it's been Bud, whether it's been Doc, whether it's been Adrian Griffin. But you don't hear them same conversations about that brother out there in Denver, Mike Malone.
Nope.
So he got a better coach, he got a better system, and a better supporting cast, but none of them are all-stars. And Giannis dragged Middleton to it all. And this ain't no shade to Middleton. Middleton is phenomenal, but he brought Middleton to 2 all-star games and brought Drew to 1. I don't know how we talk about Joker being better than Giannis.
Listen, those are compelling points. Again, I think because it's offense, everybody looks at the gaudy numbers, and that's the deal. But yeah, I just think it's from a defensive standpoint. That's where I look at it. But let's keep rolling. Let's go to the Twitter at Pork at Pork No Gooey says basketball IQ on this team is a major problem. Seeing most of this game in real life cemented it for me. Lots of talent being smothered to death by incredibly stupid decisions. At David Dunn 21 says we can't keep leaving everyone open and not boxing out. Fake numbers don't do it for me anymore. At Sunk345 says good effort defensively after that fourth quarter. I think he means first quarter. No lollygagging around, and the Bucks could have just easily called it a night. The additions of Sims and Portis will definitely be welcome and needed, and will make our team even better. I don't know why I have not heard anything about Sims yet. I know recently I haven't heard. I wish somebody would ask an update. I wish one of those reporters that was near the team would ask an update on Jericho Sims. I know we keep asking about Dame, which is good, but there are other guys that are missing we can ask about as well. Because I would like to see Jericho Sims back in the lineup. At the Disruptor, go ahead.
Put Chris King on that beat.
There we go. At the Disruptor _1 says it's always cool looking great black sharks. It's always cool looking great black sharks feeding on humans. Please stay healthy for 2 more games and then shut it down to the playoffs. I disagree, Disruptor. You cannot stay healthy for 2 more games and shut it down. I think seeding more than it is important. I really do. I really think you want to be that 5 seed. I do not think you want to be a 6 seed. So normally I would say get healthy, shut it down. This situation, I'm not doing that. At Juan Way says, man, it's the same story every game. Other teams' bigs feast on us because we got no real center. Brook is too slow, and he's the biggest liability out there. Whole squad on edge because they know he can't switch for nothing. NYC Randy says, man, just sleepwalk to a 35, 17, and 20. That's so goated. It's laughable. You promise you Giannis was like maybe 10% of the game. Appreciate his greatness. He is one of one. Couple more here. Drew Barringer says, insane stat line. If nothing else this season, we are still getting to watch greatness every night. And then last one, the Wisconsin kid says, point Giannis. That is the comment. So some good stuff on Twitter. Let's go to game balls. Game balls in the chat. Where you guys going? Justin, go ahead and give out your game ball tonight.
Man, I mean, I can't give my game ball to nothing other than the greatest dude walking the planet to me, man. I'm gonna go Mr. Antetokounmpo himself, aka freaking the sheets, freaking Philly, aka take a bow in their city again, aka trash cheesesteaks destroyed Doc's stomach, aka Giannis swerved on the cheesesteak and got some vegetables last night.
There you go. Yeah, I would feel uncomfortable going any other way. Tonight's a night for Giannis. 35, 17, 22 steals, 12 of 19 from the field, 1-1 for 3, 10-11 from the free throw line. Only 2 turnovers on those 20 assists. So, I mean, yeah, I don't think you can go anywhere other than Giannis in a night like this. Giannis Antetokounmpo, a.k.a. Congratulations, a.k.a. no sleep, a.k.a. damn, get up off of her, a.k.a. Yeah, I ain't got no more K's. Good job, Giannis, tonight on the win. I'll give mine out for Chris King tonight. And you know what? I'm gonna go with the duo of Darvin Ham and Doc Rivers coaching. Because again, on a night like tonight, where you come out slow, where you don't do what you're supposed to do, where it was rough and people question you, Doc Rivers does get a win that passes Phil Jackson, the all-time win list. Darvin Ham gets a win as well. Doesn't get it on his resume, but at least he was out there, stepped in, next men up, as you say, gets the win. So for that duo, congratulations, y'all get a game ball. A.K.A. Raspy Voice, A.K.A. Philly Cheesesteak, A.K.A. Your boy Darvin Ham is Mr. Pockets. They always talk about him got his hand in his pockets. So that's where I go down.
If I had to give out JT's, I think that we would lean towards AKA what they call the boy? What they call AJ Green? It wasn't Dairy Bird, it was what?
It was calling him Barely Bird for a minute.
Yeah, AKA he barely slept with your moms. AKA shoot that thing, big dog. AKA we ain't worry about the misses because we a make league. And he makes it. I'd go AJ Green, honorable mention Brooke Lopez and Kyle Kuzma, Gary Trent Jr. Hell, the whole team tonight, man. Boys hoop tonight. Hey, Trey, real quick though, on the Twitter hate for Brooke, you got to understand one thing, man. It was 37 years old. 37. Playing 37 minutes a game. I understand that some of the stuff he looks bad at. When we come back and we shrink his minutes and we get Sims and we get Portis, then the hate's right. But,
Yeah. I don't know what's happening in the chat. People calling each other racist. Hey, y'all, I don't know y'all gotta relax. I don't know. I like I said, candidly, I don't know what y'all are talking about on Damian Lillard. I don't think anything racist about you can not like Damian Lillard. I don't think it's racist. But yeah, y'all gotta just relax a little bit in the chat. I don't know what's happening.
Jeez.
So happening people, I'm not talking about these guys, but like that. It's like just the what I find, online in general is like people go to insults and go because again, we just as a people have lost how to talk to each other and how to disagree without like the first thing you do is some type of hey, let me call you this. And again, it's one thing when you talk, we have lighthearted fun. There's nothing wrong with some lighthearted fun back and forth. That's cool. But I think, again, people, what is a lot of people get these, and I'm not saying about in the chat, I'm just talking in general. I'm really talking about other people. But, people get online and, you get the keyboard warriors, and what we, like I said, man, there's sometimes, ain't nothing wrong with bringing back bullying. There's some, I know we're supposed to be no bullying type of society. Some people need to get bullied. That's all. And we've lost now that there are no bullies, people ain't afraid. It's like, oh, ain't nobody gonna smack me in the face because ain't no bullies around there. You're not allowed to bully nobody no more. And the other thing is somebody, and then on the other side of that, somebody you need bullies right. You gotta have somebody step up to the bully. Because the thing is, when you and the reason for that is because if you don't have that anymore in the schools, when people grow up and they see bullies, they don't know what to do. And I'm not even talking about from a physical standpoint. I'm just talking about in general. You in life, you run into a bully. And if you have not seen that problem before from grade school, and because anti-bullying, we don't have any bullies anymore, there are people who ultimately do grow up and start to bully, and people act like they're, I can't believe that's been said. No, you got the only way. Go to school. What's the only way you beat a bully, Justin?
Punch him in the mouth.
Yeah, punch him in the mouth. That's how you beat that. That stops all the bullying stuff. Because again, what Mike Tyson say, everybody got a plan to get hit in the face. Everybody got a plan. Nobody really likes to get hit. I don't care when you in school, even people who fought all the time. Like I said, I went to school, man, they was fighting at 6 a.m. Like y'all come in and get breakfast. I'm like, hey man, y'all going, it is 7 a.m., sir. Like, hey, calm down, dog. It ain't that, ain't nothing wrong. Ain't no reason to be fighting at 7 a.m. But I'm just saying, but even the biggest guys who like to fight all the time, nobody likes to get hit in the face, man. Nobody.
So I just say that you can always agree to disagree. I mean, there are times on the show where I was the only one standing on the hill for Bobby Portis or for Brooke Lopez. And I don't hate Trey for it. I don't hate Chris for it. I don't hate JT for it. Like, we all got different opinions. We all see the game from a different eyes. It doesn't make my takes any more right than Trey's or Trey's, vice versa, man. But at the end of the day, we all root for the front of this jersey. So only colors that matter right now are green, cream, blue, white. I mean, shit, we got so many damn colors now.
That's such a good point. And I think that's people lose sight of that too. Is everybody may have different opinions and different, but everybody wants the Bucks to win. And I think that's one of the reasons why Bucks Twitter and places right now it's so toxic, if you will. And again, I don't mind stuff because again, I grew up. Hey, that's what we did. But the reason places are so toxic right now is because the Bucks are losing, and because you are, and I'm saying you, but I'm saying we you're afraid. Your team is losing. It ain't fun. And again, you know what's crazy? I don't necessarily disagree. You should be upset. People should be upset because you have expectations and you want this team to be great. Like Twitter was great when the Bucks are winning by 20 every night. But like I said, man, when the house is great, when everybody got money and there's food on the table, when money get tight, the things that annoyed you that you may let go when everybody eating, when on an empty stomach, you know what? I don't like the way you just snorted when you was in. I don't like that. It's like that. That's really bothering me, and now I gotta say something about it. So that's where the Bucks are right now. Expectations are high, and they have not met the expectations. And you're going through 4 years now of injuries. So yeah, it is. These are desperate times. People are upset, and so I get why some people are a little mad, a little frustrated, a little on edge, if you will, about what's happening, especially when you watch these Bucks. But again, we'll see what happens as we get to the playoffs, and hopefully they can rectify it. And again, I think it's funny, and we'll talk about it in the look around. But I'll wait to look around and talk about what Teague said. But it's funny because he talked about if you beat the Knicks, that'd be a big. I think if you win a first round matchup, I think a lot of people are going to turn around and start to feel the wave of positivity.
Hey, look, and last thing we'll say about this is there was a comment to in the chat when I was in Dallas that pissed me off. Right? Hey, sometimes you gotta say an F-bomb and move forward. And that's okay. But never did I insult the person personally. I just told him, you're a bum-ass Bucks fan.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
Paint that Rangers green. Then you can
He talking about the Rangers stuff he had on.
I got you, big dog. We're going to paint that bitch right now. We in the building.
Here we go.
That's what you want? We here.
Rick's talking about, the opinion of giving up our future for an aging player who turned out to be a poor fit. Nothing about Dan. Yeah, no, yeah. And Todd comes here every day, and I have good time. He isn't here today, but he's been on the trade day. I just called him out because he's always doing it. He's always trade day again. But yeah, I don't feel the need to insult him. That's how he feels. That's how you feel. Again, me personally, Rick, I disagree. I think Damian Lillard has been good. I want to see him in the playoffs. I may come to that same realization, but I've got to see them in the playoffs before I get to. And I'll agree, it's been clunky at times. Hasn't been the best. It doesn't look like it may have been the best yet. But I got to see it in the playoff. I've seen this is people. This the refrain. It's the highest scoring duo in the NBA. I can't say, oh no, I don't want to see him. I want to see the highest scoring duo in the NBA. I want to see them in the playoffs. That's what I want to see. And I want to give them a chance and a shot to do that. Hopefully, again, we'll see if Damian Lillard can get himself back. I wonder about his conditioning. He'll be out for a month and some change when he comes back, but we'll see. And I think they deserve to at least get that opportunity. And then if they don't win, then let's evaluate. Let's talk about it. Let's do a look around right here in the NBA. Bucks win 126-113 over the Philadelphia 76ers. The Warriors up 45-37 right now. Second quarter over the LA Lakers. The Magic beat the Wizards tonight by 12. Check in on our favorite guy, AJ Johnson. 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 of 10 from the field. Had 3 turnovers. He was only -3 tonight. So not a bad job from AJ Johnson. I wasn't even joking. I don't know if he's laughing at me. I wasn't even joking.
Oh, I'm laughing at you.
Oh, I wasn't joking. That wasn't even a joke. I was not a joke. Trailblazers beat the Raptors tonight. Again, Ja Morant game winner over the Heat. And then the Timberwolves beat the Nets 105-90. But again, the bigger story there is Anthony. Did he come back in the game?
I didn't see.
I don't know. Somebody let me. Did he end up coming back in the game? Let me know if he's hurt or not. I saw him roll his ankle, but I just don't know if he actually is injured for any time period or what's going on there.
We beat them without Giannis and Dame.
True, they did. That is true. Other thing I want to get into on the look around, Justin, is Ja Morant, man. He gets into it, does the. He's doing the guns, the air guns, and the NBA warns him about doing it. Tonight, hits a 3. First thing he does, and he's on TNT tonight. Commissioners got to be wild. This isn't when you ain't playing the Wizards, and ain't nobody gonna see this when you can get. You're on TNT, the first game back from the commissioner telling you to chill out with the guns, and you hit a 3, and the first thing you do is that. Listen, and again, on the surface, do I think it's a problem? No. On the surface, I don't care about it. It's like in the NFL, now you can't wipe your nose no more. NFL, no, yeah, they try to ban all that stuff. Again, I think they're overdoing it, but for Ja Morant in particular. He's a habitual line stepper. And when you are a habitual line stepper, you do play by different rules. You are going to be looked at in a different manner, under a different light. And so for Ja Morant to come out first game back, I start to question, I start to question up top. What are you doing? What do you have? Why is that your go-to move? As somebody said on Twitter, Stephen A. Smith, I'm pleading with you as a gangster. Stop.
So I just feel like it's soft, man. Everybody, college basketball and everything, they getting it and they boom, boom, boom. Like we shot. And I mean, so this is the thing, right? Sometimes in this world, there are things that do need attention called to it, right? Certain insults, certain words that certain people just shouldn't say, right? No matter what it is. But him doing that, I kind of feel like Silver's reaching. You ain't checking. I don't even know who else does it. Desmond Bain.
Well, yeah, because they ain't out here carrying guns. They ain't out here getting in trouble for running around with guns. No, I agree. And I don't have a problem with it for everybody else. I have a problem with it for Ja Morant.
But you can't have different rules for Ja than
Yes,
you
I
have for the
can.
entire league.
Yes, you
Why?
can. Just
Why?
the same way. Okay, the exact same way in the NFL or even in the NBA when you are known as a dirty player, when you have hit somebody helmet to helmet first time. Okay, here's your fine. You hit somebody. If you're a habitual helmet to helmet guy, your next fine is gonna be worse than somebody else's because of your past. That's just how it goes. You're a repeat offender.
By the way, Thomas Davis ain't never got fined after he knocked out Devontae Adams a couple times, but we don't talk about that tonight, though.
He shouldn't.
Yeah. Shout out to Thomas Davis, though. Nice bar right outside the Charlotte Knights Stadium, though.
Yeah,
but yeah, you definitely killed Devontae Adams. Anyways, look, man, like just leave the dude be, man. As long as he ain't toting the pistol in his hand, then it is what it is. And correct me if I'm wrong, I ain't as sharp on the law as you, but one of them legal rights is the right to bear arms.
Sure.
So if he does it legally, leave that alone too. Now, Ja, you got to stop that punk stuff too, bro. Because I look at you, dog. I came from that mud in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You a cul-de-sac baby, and it's okay. It's okay. I tell my 4 beautiful children and my grandson all the time, being a square is the best thing I've ever been in my life. I love being a square. I love living on a cul-de-sac. I love raising my kids and sending them to the schools that they can go to. I love them having a better shot at the future. I love the fact that my parents gave me a better shot at the future than what they had. And I love that their parents vice versa. It's nothing wrong with that. Ja really struggles to be who he is in his skin. You don't need to throw the gun salute up, but I mean, the same way where when you throw this up as a 3, this could be looked at as a gun too. Is it? Maybe not. It's just a more creative way than doing like this or like this. Let me see if your pops hands can do that too, though. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying for real. Like, stop nitpicking this dude for everything he do. We understand his stuff. I completely get it. If he was out there, Grayson Allen, tripping people, that's a lot more detrimental than this stuff. If you are, what the boy name is from Detroit, the punk, Isaiah Stewart,
yeah,
doing that type of stuff, yeah. But this is harmless, and I could see if every level of basketball. I see high school kids talking about boom, 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 and it's not like we shot you like we killed you. It's hey, we hit that shot, we shot you out the game. That's the way I perceive it. Maybe I'm an old man and don't know what the hell I'm talking about. That's okay.
I don't think you're wrong. It's just John Morant has had an issue with this, and he, my problem is not with everybody else. My problem's with John Morant, and again, you got to have. You're a guy. You got to figure it out because you are slowly losing it. And now again, you got your coaches fired. Now it's affecting your on court stuff too. Your coach got fired with 9 games to go. Like it ain't all hunky dory out in Memphis. The only problem is that he got suspended for and had to go away from the team for a while. They're having some issues out there. Let's see. Anything else that you wanted to? Oh, only other thing I wanted to get to was the Jeff Teague comments. I just think Jeff Teague he's just a clown. To me, it's just very clown behavior, clown activity, all of the above from Jeff Teague and what he's talking about for the guy who actually got him a ring, like is responsible for you having a ring. That's what you have to say about him. I don't understand it. And when my issue is he said it before. And again, I think the comments, people always put an asterisk by the championship because when Brooklyn, everybody got hurt and KD stepped on that line. And somehow they beat us by 50, how he packed up his car. And, PJ Tucker, I guess, was in Milwaukee the other day and sent him a video and was like, all right, you remember when you had your apartment packed up and da-da-da, after we lost by 50? And it's like, again, I just don't, he just said, what are you getting out of saying, you said it once, so we know you're a loser. We understand it. You were a loser. And let me tell you something else. Justin. I understand it. I actually get it because I played football, but I also played basketball. And I was good basketball up until around height, like up until I got with like the real hoopers. Like youth, I was really good because I was athletic. Got with the real hoopers by 10th, 11th grade. Yeah, I kind of was fizzling. I could make the team, but I wasn't. I would like up until like ninth. I started everything I ever did. Then I was on the bench. I couldn't crack a rotate. I couldn't barely crack a rotation. I'm out there like DeLon Wright. And so it's the funny. This is the only thing I say. So it's funny. So I'm on the bench, and I'm talking like this point. I'm barely playing, and I'm just saying, me and this dude named Juice was on the bench, and Juice was actually good. But Juice was one of those guys that was a problem dude. He was cold, but he was one of those coaches with like he was wild, out of control. But you didn't know what he was going to get. But yeah, Kevin Porter Jr. But yeah, if he got hooping, he could get to hooping. But then he also drove ball with his foot, do some crazy stuff. So Juice was one of those type dudes. Juice couldn't crack rotation either. So one game, man, we're down 2, 5 seconds left. Coach called timeout. Juice is playing around in the huddle, whatever. As the coach drawing up the play, and I got $10. We lose. What we call time? We should have ran it. We lose. I got $10. We lose. Da da da. So we kind of playing around like whatever. And and crazy, my dude, and he actually kind of reminds you of Derry Bird. His name is, shout out to my guy Thomas Clark. Thomas Clark gets the ball on the end around. He was just really a straight up shooter, 3-point dagger into the game. And the look me and Juice gave each other when he hit that three, because we just expected to lose. We were like an okay team. We looked at each other and then we had to because we were kind of hating anyway. It was one of the things where we didn't really care if we won or lost because we ain't playing. So we were some haters, and then we had to pretend like we was running in the celebration and be all happy, But it was. But my point is, I get it. I get being salty that you don't play. And yeah, but anyway. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just saying I understand where it's coming from. And I just told the story. But again, if I won a state championship or something like that and was like, you know what, we really should have lost if such and such a guy. No, if I won a ring and the guys won me a ring, no, I'm going to the grave with that story. Maybe that's something you tell your homeboys. That's not something you go on a podcast to me and just be blabbering about. And then he does the weird thing where he's ranking Tatum ahead of. It's some weird hate that he has for that Bucks 2021 title team.
Hey, I got you, Tish. Rock with me. Where Jeff T from? Where you know?
And he from is he
Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay.
So let's look at this for a second. Because I'm with you, Tish. He always got something to say about the mill. People come to your city when you got the Super Bowl, when you got the Final Four, and when you got the Indy 500. After that, you are an afterthought in the Midwest. No one thinks to go to Indy. I mean, Circle City Classic still going on? I ain't been there in a long time.
It's fine. I've been to a couple, but I don't know if it's still going on.
He talks about how Milwaukee didn't have this, Milwaukee didn't have that. I think the truthful story is, Jeff, you were scared to go outside of Milwaukee. I get it. You probably drove a Kia to Milwaukee. I get it. We should have sent your ass out of there in a Hyundai. I get it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We got the world's largest music festival. We ain't talking about the U.S., the world. I remember a few years ago, Usher Raymond had a European tour. His one stop in the United States was Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yeah, I remember that. Bang, bang, bang. Yeah, I remember he was in the car.
Jeff T got a lot of hate about the mill. T, you Kurt Heinrich, bro. I said it earlier. I'm going to say it again. You are Kurt Heinrich. You are a role player that got fortunate enough to go to an all-star game. Your podcast is better than your NBA career. Sorry, not sorry. You do this better than I do it. But Doc, we not gonna sit here and act because he also threw Bryn Forbes under the bus.
What did you say about Bryn Forbes? I only saw the clip. I didn't see the
both
whole
of them
thing.
He said they were sitting on the end of the bench.
Oh, okay.
The first time he said it, he was like, "Oh man, we hating. You know, my shoes on top." Like, bro, like you got to think about when you talk about your NBA career, the first thing you talk about as being on Atlanta is sitting on the bench with your draws because you knew you wasn't gonna play. Then you were at the end of your NBA career sitting on the bench because you knew you weren't going to play with your shoes untied. Should we have beat the Brooklyn Nets? I don't know. We did. Did KD wear a size too big? I don't know, but he did. Am I finna get back this confetti I got on my wall from that parade? Hell no. Him, Justin Jackson. Is Justin Jackson even in the league anymore?
Hell no.
I'm sure he's not.
I didn't even look, but I'm gonna say no.
What's my boy Diakite from Virginia?
I don't think he was hating though.
No. But I'm saying he said nothing.
Right.
He's not said a thing. Take your championship.
Oh, Justin Jackson plays for the. Does he play for the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Does he?
I see Minnesota. Maybe he was in the preseason. Maybe he's in there for the preseason. Sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
No, he's a summer league player.
Maybe that's for summer league.
No, I'm just saying that, like.
Okay.
But Jeff, like, you should be a lot more humble and just say, "Hey, it was an amazing performance." Because what you're negating in that whole Brooklyn series, let's fast forward to the Atlanta series where you actually contributed in the playoffs. Because you ain't getting no burn in the Miami or the Brooklyn series, but you did contribute in the Atlanta series. So I think you should spend a lot more time talking about Atlanta and less time talking about Brooklyn. But hey, for whatever reason, Jeff, you gonna hate, man. It was crazy. Is you just embrace the culture? You could have been a cult figure in Milwaukee. We would have loved you. We would have loved, and I hope, because he would never come here, because we the best post-game show there is. We might be too real. Trey be predicting stuff. Y'all still don't give Trey the credit for it. Go with the Nash's show. The Nash is asking them hard questions, bro. We're gonna tag you after this too. Go on Jennings' show. It's crazy how Jennings is more embraced for that championship than what you are. Of course,
yep.
And he ain't touched the floor. Hold on. One thing. I gotta be right back. You know, I be running around grabbing props. Hold on.
Go ahead. I'll talk while you're going. But yeah, no, it is funny. Jennings is more appreciated and more respected and more well liked and all of that. Because simply for the fact and to your point, because it's an entire. And I'll let you finish what you want to say. But it's a difference of mentality and mindset. Brandon Jennings was going into a series against the Miami Heat where the Bucks didn't have a shot in the world of winning that series in Miami. LeBron could have taken the entire series. We'd have got swept with it if it was just Wade and Bosh. All right?
Facts.
That's how that would have gone. And Brandon Jennings got in front of them cameras and said, Bucks in 6. We gonna win. Yeah, we gonna win in 6. That was his mentality. And then you have Jeff Teague on the other side and he's playing with Giannis. He got Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, prime Brook Lopez. You got Bobby Porter, 6th man of the year. You got all that stuff going on. And and instead of taking the Brandon Jennings Bucks and 6 mentality, your mentality is I need to pack up my apartment. The other part he mentions is day one, and I drove. I was back home once the game ended. I drove back to Indiana. Yeah, because he was hating the entire time. I could tell he was hating when he walked in the hallway and said, I got an A on the group project. Before he even came out with these stories, I remember thinking like, damn, he sound like that wasn't like a funny. That was like he made it funny. That was a salty. I feel like, how you feel? I feel like I just got an A on the group project. Yeah, all right. You did. And I didn't do nothing. You did. And
let's not forget, because he's talked a lot about this. You were traded to Orlando, and Orlando told you wouldn't touch the floor. So he would have been sitting with me and you, Trey, basically. But just, because there's been a lot of conversation. Lou Williams, insert role player for the Clippers here. You ain't got one of these, dog. This is the culture right here.
Who bobblehead is
This,
that?
this is the Brandon Jennings
B.
Fear the
Jennings. There
Demon.
you go.
Hey, and I want to use that to get to what I want to talk about in the look around.
Go ahead.
So Brandon tweeted something out, and shout out to Brandon Jennings. One day we'll get Tough Crowd on here. We got to buy some more of his merch. We're going to get a boy on the show, though. But Jennings tweeted out, if he would have had a healthy Michael Redd and a healthy Andrew Bogut, how good could that Milwaukee Bucks have been with all three of those brothers healthy at the same time?
They could have been very good. They definitely won. They definitely won a series, for sure. But Bogut being hurt was a problem. But yeah, that would have been a good squad. That would have been a real good squad. And I think again, Brandon Jennings is a guy who, I mean, I enjoyed even the years that he had with Monte Ellis, and like I said, that Bucks, where I remember 2K. I remember being on 2K and like being in the dorm at Howard, and I mean, guys ain't know what to do because I would put the Bucks on and be killing because I knew how to use Jennings and Monte Ellis, and it was like if you played with them I played with them all the time. I knew how to play with him, so it was just a different. Jennings is a different type of cat, man, and and the skill that he had, his skill set was so high. It was unfortunate that he couldn't get a healthy run with those guys, and but I would have loved to see it, and I think they could have done some damage for sure.
So one thing that, and for all y'all folks that watch it back and all that stuff, the one thing you should never ever do is question his brother about why he's a Bucks fan, if he's a Bucks fan. The fact that he played with Jennings on 2K lets you know he ain't just here for the run. He been here through the struggle. He got it out the mud too. Hey man, hell of a win.
Yep.
Brandon Jennings is probably one of the best players I've seen in a Bucks uniform in my time. And it's not necessarily who he is as a basketball player, just the fact that he isn't scared of anyone. If that's not Milwaukee in my granddad's era in the 50s, in my dad and my uncle's era in the 70s, and Sid the Kid, Sir Sid, y'all catch that interview?
Yeah,
in the
80s?
Yeah. That is what it is. Brandon embodies Milwaukee. He is forever a legend here. And Jeff, that's why we don't want to let you into Milwaukee County ever again, because of that BS you on. Hey, real quick, and Brewers 1-0. Hell of a win, man. Nasty Nestor. He went and took some of that Doc Rivers stuff and crapped out that Yankee stuff. Hey, man, we 3-4 now. Watch that home bridge. We're going to be lighting fireworks off that joint instead of jumping off it now.
Hey, yo. That's a good win for the Brewers tonight. Well said on Brandon Jennings. Well said on Jeff Teague. Good stuff for your Milwaukee Bucks tonight. 126-113. Rick Hamilton talking about he saw Brandon Jennings on the highway and freeway in Florida, tried to catch him, and he was going 120 miles an hour. On brand for B. Jennings. Tough crowd for him. He got some good merch. Again, Justin, you mentioned it, the interview with Sidney Moncrief. Do yourself a favor if you have not watched and I see people in the chat, if you have not seen the Sidney Moncrief interview, go ahead, check it out on our page. We sat down with him for like 45 minutes or whatever it was. Really good stuff. He was really insightful, and we really enjoyed it. Go get his book as well. He mentions it and gives you some information on how to do that. But yeah, man, he's a really good interview, and I think he provided just a lot of information that I think you guys would like. If you could as well, hit the like button. Bucks got to win tonight, 2 in a row. If you believe in your Milwaukee Bucks with 2 in a row, if you believe they're going to be the 5 seed when it's all said and done, go ahead and hit that like button for us. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you appreciate it because you were here with us tonight after winning against the Philadelphia 76ers, man. So much going on, and you were here at the Cream City crossover after a big-time victory for the Milwaukee Bucks, 126-113. A lot of good stuff coming up from us here. Again, tournament stuff as well. So make sure, I don't know how close you guys are in the bracket challenge. Y'all about to let Danny run away. Y'all about to let Danny run away and get all of the money if he can get all top 3 spots, which would be crazy. That'd be crazy. Tish says City interview was fire. Very humble guy. Yeah, he is. Very humble guy. Doesn't come off braggadocious for an NBA legend, Hall of Famer.
And the fact that the brother said, I didn't even really realize I was that good.
Yep.
And being born in 82, he was a hero for me. Along with guys like Paul Pressey, Terry Cummins, and stuff like that. But I just want to give a super shout out to Tish, man. You always supporting us. You always here. Hey, Trey, we got crown this lady. Don't we got crown her?
Yeah, crown what? What you need a crown for?
Let's call her Queen of the Cream City crossover.
Queen of the Cream City. There you go. WFSO says, "Sup Bucks Nation, good win. It was a good win. Indeed. Let me see.
Where's Coach RJ?
Hey, I don't know where RJ. I don't know where Coach RJ is. Your Sixers were playing, Coach. Get in the chat. I don't know where you at. Again, very good win though for the Bucks, man. Again, if you could hit that like button, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really helps us out. We would appreciate it. Tell a friend, tell another friend about the Cream City crossover. You can check out me and John Tyus, of course, on your T's and Q's every Saturday, 10 to noon, just to make some appearances as well on that show, as well as Jeff Arlovsky, Polish Pipe Bomb. Should have some stuff coming up with the Milwaukee Brewers soon as well as that season gets underway, so that should be fun. We're going to enjoying that. We'll be back here Saturday. It might just be a solo show. I don't know. Maybe John Tyus beer. I'm not sure. But I know, Justin, you'll be out. But Saturday against the Miami Heat. And again, as we look forward, I mean, I don't know what the status is of Anthony Edwards, but I think you need a split. Well, no, the next game is Miami. Next game is Miami. Okay, so it's Miami. I think you need a split. You got to win basically. I think you need to. You're probably going to need, depending on what the Pistons do next. You probably need to at least split Miami and Minnesota. Hopefully you win them both, but you probably need at least a split. And then you got to win, and then you have to beat because you have the Pelicans twice, right?
Yeah, beat them.
So yeah, you have Pelicans twice, you have Miami, Minnesota, and 2 games against the Pistons. I mean, yeah, I think 5-2 probably does it. No, you have the 6 left. Yeah, I think 4-1 does it. Oh, 4-1. No, you have to split. Yeah, I think 4-2 does it. Because, and I'm envisioning one of those splits being against Detroit. So yeah, at WFSO says Miami Saturday, New Orleans Sunday, Mini on Monday. Yeah, it'd be nice to win all those. But again, you're also watching what Detroit does, so we'll see what they do, and hopefully you can figure this thing out. You said most, yeah, Mini on Tuesday. Also, that's when Bobby Portis gets back. So let's see what he can do as well. Bucks are right now the 5th seed out in the East. Zion Williams is out. Zion Williams is done for the year. So is CJ McCollum. So both of those are done. Tish says, please do some watch along so Bucks fans have a gathering place instead of this. I'm not gonna talk about. I'm not. Tish said it, not me. Maybe we'll do a watch. Let's think about it. We'll see when the best time is. Maybe we'll do a watch along.
Or maybe we just need to wait to live because we all trying to stay employed, Tish. But this don't pay our bills. We gotta stay employed because I might say some out of pocket stuff.
Yeah, during the game live. Yeah, I know. That's how I be feeling too.
But Miami is going to be very tough.
Yep.
They're playing good basketball right now. I think you could see, even if Ant isn't hurt, I can see Minnesota resting guys because I don't know what they have left to play for. But at the end of the day, man, we just got to get out there and hoop. Let Giannis be Giannis. As my uncle that would say, let the G-Man be the G-Man, and we'll be all right, man.
Let me see here. Standings wise, let me look at Minnesota. Ooh, no, they actually do have a lot to play for. They are trying to get out of the play-in because right now they're the 7th seed. See, they're the 7th seed, and it's crazy. And there's a Golden State, Memphis, Minnesota, the Clippers. So Golden State's 5, Memphis is 6, Minnesota 7, Clippers are 8th. All those teams are within a half game of each other. Golden State, Memphis, and Minnesota are statistically tied with each other. Clippers are half game back. So yeah, all those teams are going to be trying to get there. And then there's an outside chance. I mean, the crazy thing is when you go up to 3rd, I mean, those 3 teams, Golden State, Memphis, Minnesota, are 2 games out of the 3rd spot with the Lakers, and the Lakers are down by 13 to Golden State right now. So again, there's gonna be a lot of shifting that could potentially go on. So Golden State could get a whole game on LA tonight. And after tonight, you could see LA in the 4, Denver in the 3, Golden State sitting at 5 solely. So again, there's gonna be a lot of stuff going as well.
Can we hit one last thing before we get out of here? And I'm sorry, I know you're trying to wrap, but
no,
just one quick thing. Because Rick Hamilton brought up a great point. Wisconsin Badgers Blackwell declared for the NBA draft. I just look around. Last thing, man. I just want to talk about the foolery of if he hires an agent, he cannot come back to college basketball, but he can have an agent for his NIL contract. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I know. It is a mess. I think again, I like all the guys getting paid. I like that they can do their thing, but there has to be some type of rules around. Again, I think what it really boils down to is something the NCAA doesn't want to do, which is really, really lean into. This is a feeder system. This is what is high major college basketball and college football is you are employees, and I think it would be much easier if you, to me, just like the coaches, you have to sign it. To me, I would rather have. Instead of being, year over year scholarships, when you sign your NIL, when you sign your scholarship, maybe this is almost like, like the NBA, where again the max you can do is a 5-year deal, because if you give you a red shirt, and I'm signing you for a 5. When people say, "Oh, I got a full ride," you got 5 years guaranteed. Hey, you know what? You only got 2 years, and if you screw up, you might have to go somewhere else after 2 if we don't want to extend, and then you have to extend. So at least everybody knows. And if you want to leave, there should, and to me, I think the real thing that there should be a penalty. So if you want, I don't mind guys leaving, but if you want to go from, let's say you started off at
Grambling State,
where
Grambling State, because their coach alluded to that. He said there should be a buyout. Yeah, if you leave Grambling, you go to Big Power 5.
You leave Grambling and want to go to Marquette, then Marquette should have to pay. You should have to pay Grambling State something for. I don't mind. I think that should be a thing. If you want to leave, get out of your contract early. If I give you a 2-year deal to come to Grambling State, and you want to get poached by Marquette year 1, I should be able to get something out of that. I like that idea as well. I'm not mad at it. Let's take it there. Let's wrap it here. Do want to thank our sponsor tonight, Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Head on out there if you're in Wisconsin, Lakeview Boulevard, Pewaukee, Wisconsin. Tell them the Guru sent you. Tell them the Cream City Crossover sent you out there to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, proud sponsor of the Cream City Crossover. Again, man, we are wrapping this season up. It's been fun. It's been great. It's been frustrating at times, but we're here. We are here getting to the end. Please, again, check out everything we have going on. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. This has been a Cream City Media Group production from the Guru Trick House III. What happened?
Justin.
What happened?
I just read this comment. Oh, my God.
Oh, which one? I don't even know which one.
Hey, just keep going. We out.
Okay, we out. I know they. I've been trying to avoid, but I'm just trying to eat. It's too much. If I am your enemy, it's only because I dare to tell you the truth. Don't take no wood nickels.